with the offensive rebound, giving Virginia another crack at it. Here's Muhammad.
Now look at that. Look at the way she grabbed that basketball in traffic, Dave.
And just said, nobody's going to stop me. She didn't have that attitude in the first half.
That's the whole Virginia attitude right now to start the second half. They have been more determined. They've been a little bit sharper. And Monica Wright has been on fire. See right there, get the ball to Wright. That's three. I'm unofficially keeping track of Brittany Milner's decision-making in transition when you know Monica Wright is who should have the ball.
Well, Virginia has scored on 7 of their last 10 possessions. Their last lead came at 12:03 in the first half when it was 17-15. Right now they're up by 1 with 14:56 to play. McMahon to the elbow, off the window.
Smart. You know, she's being overplayed by Milner, and she takes her right to the basket.
A couple of Hall of Fame coaches. Matter of fact, Debbie Ryan took her team to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, which is located here in Knoxville, on their trip to Knoxville.
Matchup zone by Tennessee.
It'll be Tennessee basketball. That matchup zone causing some problems.
There was a time when you'd never hear the words Pat Summitt in zone. Yes. But here, McMahon doing a nice job of taking the ball to the basket. Being overplayed, and that's what you should do. And right now, Virginia wants to keep Tennessee in front.
Well, my guys, Joe Champy and Jim Foster. Joe Champy, legendary coach at Auburn. Jim Foster, coach, spent a lot of time at Vanderbilt, now at Ohio State. Those guys love the 2-3 matchup zone. They lived on it.
They sure did. Joe Champy, he's the guru of the matchup zone. Everybody's learned how to run it from Joe.
Yeah, Joe's had a nice little career post-basketball coaching, going around teaching his matchup zone to a lot of colleges.
He's quite an entrepreneur, that Joe Champy.
One of a kind. That's all I can tell you. He's one of a kind.
I don't think Pat Summitt liked that shot that Brewer took on the other end.
She's got that Pat Summitt scowl going on, but there's Muhammad.
Look at her just being so strong inside.
Loose ball on the floor. I think Muhammad was challenged at halftime by her coach, Debbie Ryan. You have got to be involved.
Well, Dave, you said it. She did not score a basket until the last minute of the first half. And Virginia can't just rely on Wright. They got to have a counter to her ability to score inside. Look at Muhammad. She keeps her pivot foot, but Shekinna Strickland does a great job of getting her hands on the ball.
Here's Muhammad, little 15-foot jumper, knocks it down from the southpaw.
And Virginia's sending a message right now to the rest of the ACC. I don't think they like being picked 4th in the preseason.
And Virginia's getting a lot of second chance points, but Tennessee comes back and responds. They're up by 1 again, 53-52.
And see, Debbie Ryan is calling a lot of plays from the bench right now because you got an inexperienced point guard. She hasn't had to do that for a while with Charnay Zoll at the point. I like the matchup zone switched by Pat Summitt though.
Here's Muhammad. Kick it out to Edwards, no good. McMahon grabs the rebound. 3-on-2. McMahon will pull up, knock down the jumper.
I think McMahon saw Brianna Bass making an impact and decided, I think I'm going to make myself a little name.
She saw minutes quickly slipping through her fingertips.
This is a good matchup zone lineup on the floor for Pat Summitt because Virginia has been getting the middle of the floor off the dribble.
Edwards nearly lost it out of bounds. Here's Milner. Tough shot inside. Shine in the right place at the right time and gets the basket. Tennessee's lead is 1.
Now, as much as I have been getting on Brittany Miller for her decision-makings and making in the open court, that is a great play right there by her in the quarter court offensively.
Here's McMahon. She will back it out. Now step inside the arc for 2. No good. Rebound to Muhammad. And for Muhammad, he's now pulled down 6 boards. Edwards off the window. Good break by Virginia.
And great screen by Chelsea Shine to give Monica Wright a little bit of space to be able to make that delivery. Virginia running the floor. This is why Debbie Ryan wants to play.
We have had 6 lead changes and 1 tie in this game. Here's McMahon. Inside to Fuller. Spin move by Brewer.
Now that's where Brewer should be. On the block with her 6'3" frame, with her back to the basket, and go over the top of Virginia.
Out of Sapulpa, Oklahoma. Muhammad, guarded by Brewer. Kick it back to Wright. Now to Milner. She will line a three up. Off to Mark. Rebound Fuller.
Monica Wright hadn't had a shot in a while, Dave. I'm starting to feel like Monica Wright's going to start demanding the basketball right here.
That'll be Virginia basketball. And a timeout on the floor. The pace has certainly picked up inside Thompson Bowling Arena. Virginia Arena, pretty much what we expected. A close ball game between these two top 15 clubs. Number 15, Virginia. Number 7, Tennessee. Of course, the Lady Vols back-to-back national championships.
Now, this is the matchup I was looking for. I've been looking for this all game. Shekinna Strickland on Monica Wright. Debbie Ryan coming off the timeout, puts the ball in her hands. But remember, Brianna Bass is in the game for Tennessee, too, so they get into their man-to-man and out of the matchup.
And there's Bass with a takeaway, causing some havoc for the Cavaliers.
See, she's thinking pass first, set the offense, find the right player to take shots.
Strickland strong to the basket, won't go down. Tapped around to Edwards, now ahead to Wright. 2-on-1 break. Bounce pass to Shine. She's fouled on the way to the hoop. Free throws coming up for Virginia.
And Virginia has had numbers on the front of the break all second half. Tennessee has been trailing in their transition defense. Watch right here. Good play by Monica Wright. The right time, draw Bass, make her commit, and then dish it off to Shine so she can go to the free throw line.
Now there's a discussion about was it a shooting foul or not. Debbie Ryan obviously says that Shine was on her way up.
Oh, I thought she was shooting the basketball. No
Absolutely.
question.
That's an unfortunate break for Virginia.
Well, our replay just showed she got fouled on the way to the basket. I don't think they called a foul. I think they called it out of bounds.
And thus, no free throws. There you go. They scratch the foul on Bass. Here's Wright, triple teamed in the paint, taken away by Johnson.
And look at Kelly Kane with that huge frame. Just step up and clog up the whole middle of the lane. Kelly Kane clogs the lane and allows Tennessee to get out on the break.
And the Lady Vols behind Glory Johnson's field goal, make it a three-point game.
Remember when I said going to break that Monica Wright hadn't any shots in a while, Dave? So Debbie Ryan puts her at the point coming off the timeout. She's running the point. And look, she calls her own number, clear out. That is a tough check. Anybody who plays Virginia this year is going to have trouble with this right here. Kelly Kane steps up, clogs it up, allows Glory Johnson, who's very capable of handling it in the open court, to finish. Right now is going to be guarded by Bass.
Third foul on Strickland. And Tennessee will back it up into a zone. Matt Summit and Holly Warlick both telling us that they're impressed with how quickly this team has taken to defense. A very young club, something usually you have to work on, but obviously that defense is not going to work to stop Wright.
Well, you can't have a loser. If you're going to switch D's, you got to know she's the focal point. Of everything that Pat Summitt's doing right now defensively is to stop Monica Wright. How about her performance? I mean, this is just November. Dave, I can't get this excited before Christmas on basketball games now. Come on, we got a long ways to go, you and me.
And Strickland knocks it down. Yeah, you've got about 80 more games to go, so slow down, slow down. Muhammad underneath. There's a mismatch on Bass. You got 6'3", going against 5'2".
I'm telling you, Virginia has run the floor hard, wide. They've been effective. Tennessee's transition defense has not been good in the second half.
You know what? Their transition offense wasn't very good in the first half either. They've been very effective and efficient here in the second half. Here's Strickland. Strong to the basket. And an offensive foul. And that will be number 4 on Strickland.
Nice job inside. Kelly Hardig, the 6'4" sophomore. That's what you're supposed to do on a back row, is allow those guards to overplay and pressure, and then you got to trust that they're going to be there on the rotation, and Hardig was.
Long three from Edwards, no good. Bass comes away with it. Off to Kane. Couple of big steps, no good.
Now, I don't know if Pat Summitt has that rule in about giving the ball to Kelly Kane when she's on the move.
That was my first thought was, I don't know if that's where you want to give it at the free throw line on the break.
Yeah, I think you'd rather wait till Kelly gets to the block and shows numbers to the basketball.
Don't forget, tomorrow night we'll have some more Tennessee basketball coming your way. The men take the stage against UT Martin, Pat Summitt's alma mater, 7 o'clock Eastern. UT Martin and senior guard Lester Hudson lead the Skyhawks. Randy Smith and Bill Justice will have the call for you right here on Sports South. Check the listings in your area.
We had a little visit from Bruce Pearl at shoot-around today.
We
He's
did.
Pretty excited about that matchup. I'll tell you what, I watched this team the other night. They are good. They are a tempo team. Bobby Mays, now, I'm telling you, he can play.
How many 6'7", 6'8" guys does he have that can just fly and sky?
I think everybody but Bobby Mays.
And Bruce Pearl.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 guys.
I don't know. Bruce is pretty active over there. I think he's pretty good over there in the trap on the sideline.
Be Antonelli back with you. And, folks, if you're a Tennessee basketball fan, we stumbled across this. Associate Athletic Director for Media Relations, Debbie Jennings, who's been here for over 30 years, decided to put the history of Tennessee basketball into a book. They call it the Basketball Vault. And it's a history of Lady Vol basketball dating back to 1903.
It's pretty impressive. There's a lot of great stories in there. I've already had a chance to go through some of it, and everything you want to know. It's one-stop shopping on Lady Vol basketball right here. And Debbie Jennings, of course, nobody is a better caretaker of Tennessee history than her.
Some great stuff in there. Certainly some mementos and items.
Did you know that Holly Warlick, who is one of the 5 players who has her banner and her number retired here, didn't even come here on a basketball scholarship? She's on a track scholarship. She asked Pat Summitt if she could walk onto the team.
Pretty good decision by both of them, I would say. They've been together now for eons.
Well, what I love about Holly Warlick's jersey and retired and her banner in the rafters is that she's the only one up there that didn't score over 2,000 points, which means Pat Summitt always talks about defense. Well, guess what? It mattered. That's how Holly Warlick got up there. She might have taken 2,000 shots, but she didn't score 2,000 points.
Holly Warlick, she's in that book. Everything you need to know, by the way. The book comes out in early December.
And Debbie Jennings spent a lot of time working on it. Of course, Holly Warlick, 24 years on the sideline over there with Pat Summitt, ready to be, more than ready to be a head coach. Just a matter of finding the right job, and she will find the right job. Some university would be lucky to get Holly Warlick as their next head coach.
Pretty good job right here.
Yeah, it's not bad here. It's hard to leave here. How about Nikki Caldwell? She left. She got her first win this weekend.
Muhammad, backside rebound and putback. Boy, Tennessee has given up some offensive rebounds here in the second half. Part of the reason that Virginia's been able to claw back to within 1 and actually take a couple of leads, and then a foul against the Lady Vols and the loose ball, and that will go against Glory Johnson. The freshman from right here in Knoxville picks up the foul.
Watch Glory Johnson come crashing in from the middle of your screen. She's going to come, and she just completely wipes out Monica Wright. That's why the foul was called. Joe Cunningham made that call from the right position on the floor.
Speaking of offensive rebounds, I just start to go down the checklist, and Virginia with 15, Tennessee with 12. Harding misfires again. That's 2 missed shots in a row now for Harding. Bass on the far side. Out to Fuller. And a pushing foul against Wright, who is all over Bass.
You know, that is just a case of I'm just a little stronger and you're smaller.
Well, we saw this in the layup line today, earlier at the shoot-around. Alex Fuller, I can't remember, I think it was Alex Fuller, might have been one of the other players, went over to high-five Bass and knocked her on the floor.
She knocked her over.
Right.
She looks like everybody's little sister. As a matter of fact, Bruce Pearl, who we were mentioning before, the head coach here on the men's side, he said he saw Brianna Bass back in the hallway today, you know, coming out for shoot-around. He thought she was somebody's little sister, a middle school kid.
You know, we mentioned that book, The Basketball Vault, History of Tennessee Lady Vol Basketball. That is Debbie Jennings, the author of that book. Also the author of all the information we receive about Tennessee hoops, and can't thank her enough for all that she has done over the years. Tennessee with another chance.
Glory Johnson, great defensive play.
21 turnovers now by Virginia.
Yeah, well, it's the absence of a experienced point guard as part of it. And part of it is Tennessee's great pressure defense and their ability to change their defense.
Smallbone from the corner, got it. Just like that, it's a 6-point advantage for Tennessee with 6:17 to go and a timeout taken by Debbie Ryan.
That is exactly what Sydney Smallbone spent the offseason. Say, hey, the #1 recruiting class is coming in here, and if I want to play, I got to be able to knock down shots.
And with that timeout, we will step aside with 6:17 to play. Tennessee leads by 6.
So has
About what a lot of people think will happen in both these leagues. First of all, for the Southeastern Conference, it looks like a Vanderbilt, Tennessee type of 1-2 situation. Auburn and Georgia in that mix. What do you think about the ACC side?
Well, on the ACC, the media went with North Carolina, Maryland, Duke, Virginia. That's not exactly how I saw it. I actually saw Duke winning the ACC, followed by North Carolina, then Maryland. Virginia still in the 4th spot. Now they get Lindra Littles back, and with their post play, which right now Maryland's is unproven, they have a chance. And with their athleticism, they're going to be able to compete with Duke and North Carolina. There's no question that Virginia will be in the hunt.
Wright with an offensive rebound. Muhammad with another chance. Got it to go down. Big basket under 6 minutes to play. It's now a 4-point game.
This is Virginia's will and experience. And Monica Wright right now.
Kane with a reverse layup.
Great feed by Bass. Always has her eyes on the rim, understanding who to get the ball to when. I'm not ready to say she knows the 3 W's yet. Who, when, and where to get the ball, who to get it to, when. But she's going to learn it before the season's over. Boy,
Edwards missed badly moments ago. Connects on that 3 from the corner. It'll be Tennessee basketball. How about the freshman? Airmails one from the same spot. Next possession down. Launches it again. And hits nothing but the bottom of the net.
I'll tell you what, we've seen a great game, and this is going to have a great finish. And both these coaches have learned a lot about the character of their team, which will help them both in their race to win their conference. Because they're both going to be tournament teams. There's no question in my mind. That's not even, that goes without saying.
Right. Here's Glory Johnson. Good quick move at the free throw line. Takes it to the basket. Good interior defense, and then a push off from Johnson on Milner.
Yeah, 2 officials had whistles on that one also. There was no question on that. A little forearm shiver.
That's 3 on Johnson. That is also the 17th foul now.
And there's the shove.
And a 1-and-1 situation. So Milner will step to the free throw line. Crowd here certainly didn't like the call, but there was a push off.
Now we got a good refereeing crew right here. We got 3 officials with Final Four experience. And Debbie Ryan says, we'll take the bank. It's all right.
Nice little smirk from Debbie over there.
I'm going to tell you, Debbie Ryan looks fantastic. She's an 8-year pancreatic cancer survivor. She's worked hard on her conditioning. She's lost some weight. She looks fantastic. She feels the best she's ever felt.
Yeah, she lost some weight. She got healthy. She doesn't want people to think she's sick.
No, she's not sick. She's terrific.
She says she's feeling great. Better than she has in a long, long time.
Mohamed, great job. Get off the contact. Kelly Kane didn't keep the seal.
Here's Edwards.
And they had a mismatch right there.
Muhammad. How about the play by Shine, though, to screen and allow the pass to get to Muhammad?
Well, Shine was working hard to post up because she had Smallbone on her. Great recognition by Virginia. And Tennessee's weak side defense was not there. There was no rotation on the backside.
We've now had 8 lead changes, 3 ties. Virginia on a 6-0 run. Here's Kane underneath trying to break that. Now it's back to Bass. Johnson spins, fires, count it.
And Glory Johnson, Dave. She's not afraid to handle contact. She initiates it inside. She's strong, and she's quicker than anybody else Virginia has on their front line. This is a great play by Bass. She lets Johnson reposition inside, and that is a strong take to the bucket. I mean, that is all power right there. There's nothing finesse. You look at Glory Johnson, you go, she's quick and athletic. You think she's a finesse player. She is tough, and she is mentally tough.
Tennessee will have the basketball. .401 to play in a 2-point game.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty good defensive lineup on the floor right now for Pat Summitt.
Here's Bass, wide open for three. Great inbounds play, just couldn't convert. And a jump ball, arrow favors Virginia. Boy, this has got a postseason feel to it. It is only game number 2. Pat Summitt playing like it's worth a lot on the line. Back in a moment. Tennessee number 15, Virginia. And a game that certainly has featured a lot of good basketball, but it's also been a showcase for two of the best coaches in the history of women's basketball. And of course, Pat Summitt, the winningest coach in college basketball. Watched her team raise another national championship banner on Saturday afternoon. The 2008 banner matches the 7 others. Of course, Debbie Ryan, a Hall of Fame coach, inducted in June. She's been to 3 Final Fours, 22 NCAA tournaments. I mean, those are 2 legitimate, you use that term a lot, but they're Hall of Famers.
Oh, they only need one name. You just say Pat and you say Debbie, and everybody knows who you're talking about.
It's a special treat to watch these two work their magic here tonight. Here's Glory Johnson. She's got a little magic as well. And a foul. And Edwards hit right on top of the head.
And a technical foul called on Glory Johnson for after the play. She gave a little cheap shot, and that is an emphasis in the game this year. You are not allowed to do this. This is a great play by Glory Johnson. She makes the steal, and then you're going to see Edwards come in and commit the hard foul. Now watch Johnson push her down, and that you cannot do that. Now, if you look at the fouls that Glory Johnson has had in the game, and that counts as a personal foul as well. If you look at the fouls, they've been push-offs, they've been shoves, they've been meanness kind of fouls. Now, I'm sure Pat Summitt is not minding that there's a bully on the block on the inside because they need a little toughness in there.
And that is the 4th foul now on Glory Johnson as Edwards steps to the free throw line.
Now, she will shoot the technicals.
And then we'll go back to the point of interruption.
Exactly.
And now we'll go back here, and Johnson will resume her free throw opportunities. 2 free throws tie the game up. It's our 4th tie.
Now the point of interruption is the foul that Edwards committed on Johnson. So now Johnson will shoot the free throws.
Johnson was 3 out of 3 in the opening game from the free throw line. She's 3 out of 6 tonight, but gives Tennessee the 1-point lead. Misfires. Tennessee keeps it alive. Yes, they did.
Look at the battle for every loose basketball, because right now, this is what you train for, what you condition for, what you spend all that time in the weight room for, the last 4 minutes. And whose will be stronger?
Timeout taken by Alex Fuller.
That's the 2nd time Tennessee has not been able to get the basketball inbounds. The last time they turned it over.
That'll leave Tennessee with 3 timeouts. Virginia also with 3 timeouts. And that's the kind of game it's been right there. Kelly Shine might have a shiner on that right eye. It's been getting physical.
Hey, she's been pretty good in there tonight. She's held her own. I've been impressed with her mental approach to this game and how she's been able to hang in there with a more athletic front line of Tennessee.
You look at all the freshmen, you know, we put our little boards together and with information. I look down and I see so many freshmen and sophomore on Tennessee, and the same can be said right now for this Virginia team. Chelsea Shine, the woman we just looked at, another one of those. You know, just think a year ago, a lot of these girls were playing high school basketball, and now they're playing here on this monstrous stage.
Well, Pat Summitt has a #1 recruiting class this year. Debbie Ryan, by some services, has a top 5 recruiting class coming in next year. You got a young lady named China Crosby coming in who is going to be her point guard next year from New York City.
She said it's almost the same attitude as somebody from Philly.
Yeah, well, I used it. Her sign is tough, where Debbie played as a point guard.
She says she's tough, almost Philly tough.
Yeah. Of course, Debbie Ryan would be from that tree of coaches out of the Philadelphia area. And I mean, we could go on, and the whole broadcast could be about all those great coaches out of that area that are in our game. You mentioned Jim Foster before. Buffett McGraw had a huge win over LSU at their place yesterday.
Even our boy Joe Champy.
Joe Champy, you've got to bring him up again.
He's going to have to send us a little money, isn't he?
I'm sure he's texting us right now, wondering what we got going on there.
Here's Bass, knocks down the free throws. So 75-73. We have 3.5 minutes to play. Monica Wright with 28 points, but she has been very quiet in the last 5 or 6 minutes of this game. Trying to make some noise here. Blocked by Kane, but Wright gets it back. Fires. No good. Milner skies for the rebound.
Look at the fight and the hustle. You got to call the jump ball there sooner.
Muhammad and Johnson battling.
I'm telling you, you're not going to mess with Glory Johnson right now. All of a sudden, she is taking on the tough demeanor of this Tennessee squad.
It'll be Tennessee basketball as the arrow. Oh, and it looks like a cramp for Muhammad as we look at the replay.
Well, Kelly Kane did a great job of stuffing the first attempt, and then look at the effort by Virginia to stay on the glass. And that's Muhammad and Glory Johnson fighting for the basketball.
She has a cramp in that back calf.
Now, she has had an ACL injury. She's a JUCO All-American and could not play the next year at Virginia. So this is her 3rd year at Virginia. She would be considered a 5th-year senior.
Debbie Ryan telling us that she is in the best shape she has been in. She actually went home to Nigeria over the summer and actually came back in much better shape. She hadn't been home in a while. Debbie Ryan saying that she came back with a much better attitude. Not that it was bad before, but came back with a new attitude and was in great shape and ready to play ball. And we've seen some of that here in the second half.
I think Virginia players understand the legacy of their program, and they understand what Debbie Ryan has done for them and for the game. I don't believe coaches like Debbie Ryan and Pat Summitt ought to be coaching effort. And I don't think they ought to be coaching academic issues either. I think they ought to be able to coach their teams, and they shouldn't have high-maintenance players.